All right. Okay. Do you guys remember how we can verify something's a zero? We did this a few chapters ago.
If you put it in, then the equation equals 0.
Yes, if you put it in, the equation will equal 0. So, or it has like remainder of 0. However, we don't know how to divide by a 2i. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to substitute it in, like we said, and check that it equals 0. So this is going to be kind of, I don't know if I left us enough space. So we're going to put this in for our x. So we're putting it in for x. So everywhere x shows up, we're going to put 2i in. Now this is going to require a little bit when we talked about exponent rules with our I, that's going to kind of come up here. So we're going to put that in. Wasn't that green before it changed? Oh, I'm totally not going to have enough room.
So you went to Pizza Ranch but didn't steal me any pizza?
You can't steal pizza, Pizza Ranch.
Yeah, you can.
It's a Christian organization.
Yeah.
You steal pizza at Pizza Ranch?
Yeah, when you walk out, you just take a couple pieces.
Okay. No, I was joking. I don't. I'm a law-abiding citizen. So.
Yeah, okay.
It's not law. I paid for it.
No, you didn't.
Yes, he did.
It's a whole thing though, but you don't have to like
Yeah.
just like load up your pockets.
I just stuff it all, like, I put like 3 pieces in my mouth.
You can't do that. That's not possible.
Yeah,
There's
just,
no-
like,
Okay.
rolls it all.
All right, guys. So we're putting this in.
Just roll it up, dude.
Oh,
So-
that's disgusting.
So we're doing 2i to the 6th power. So so 2 to the 6th. What is that? I think is that 64?
Don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
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 They don't know.
So
Yeah, we do.
64. There's a green with everything I say right now.
Yeah.
So 64 I to the 6th, and we're going to simplify this more in a second here. Now,
Wait.
so I'm distributing that 6th power in.
Yeah, but then why did you put i's?
Because I.
Oh, and you're
They-
just doing 2.
Yeah, because we have to talk about what I to the 6th
Oh, okay.
is in a second here. So now minus this 5 times 2i to the 5th. So I'm going to do 2 to the 5th first, which is 32, and then times 5. Is that okay if I do that all at once?
What?
Dude,
So no, it's not. Okay, so I'm distributing.
Oh, okay.
understand.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, you can.
Don't drop the class. No one needs to drop. Or I'll
We already had plenty drop.
All right.
We already had plenty of them drop it.
This is going to be 16i to the 4th. Minus 20. Okay. So now what we have to do is we have to talk about all these I's and what they stand for and like what's going on with that. So, do you guys remember what I to the 6th would be?
-1. It's either 1 or -1.
So remember it goes I squared is -1,
So it's
I to the 3rd
It's
Yeah.
is -I, right?
Yeah.
And then I to the 4th is 1.
okay.
So, I to the 6th would be -1, right? So this would become a -64. I'm going to write down here just because I don't have enough space. What's I to the 5th going to be?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just going to be I. So we're going to do 5 times 32. I to the 4th is just going to be 1, right? squared is going to be negative I. So that's going to make this a positive 160I. And then I squared is negative 1, so this is going to be a minus 24 times 4. 96. So the 160 i's are going to cancel, right? And then we have 160 minus 64 minus 96, which equals 0. So 2I is a 0 of px. All right, that was only part A. If you notice, we only have like a couple more examples here, so hang in there with me, I think. We'll see how we go here. We might skip the graphing one at the bottom. All right, so once we have that, we have one of our zeros. So we have x equals 2I is a 0. How many zeros do we need?
6.
Yeah, we need 6 zeros. It's the 6th power. So I know that's a 0. If I know that's a 0, what else do I know is a 0 as well? Yeah. Now, if I know those two are zeros, right now that doesn't, like, I can't do like the synthetic division thing where I divide it out because we don't have any synthetic division with I. If you want to try and invent it, you can go ahead. But what we're going to do is we're basically going to use these to make them into like a little polynomial that we can actually divide. This is going to be brutal. I'm going to warn you ahead of time here.
Oh,
So,
is this going to be on a test?
it could be. I have to go back and look and see what. Sometimes I have to compare what Mr. Hatfield puts on versus what. So I wrote the zeros as factors now. So we're going to FOIL this because I want to write it as a polynomial because I'm a little more comfortable with a polynomial here. The good news is a bunch is going to cancel because, again, these are conjugates. Oops, that should be minus. All right, so those two cancel. So this becomes x squared. This is a negative 1 plus 4. So that tells me x squared plus 4 is a factor. Now how we're going to find the rest of the zeros is now we're actually going to divide by that. So we're going to take our original problem and divide by that factor.
Long division?
Yeah, we're going to do long division, yeah.
What are you laughing
Yep.
I'm worried that I combined two. Oh no, I think I'm okay. All right. I may actually flip this to the next page just so I don't know. I didn't even leave room on the top. Gosh. All right. So we're going to do long division here. So I'm going to divide the x squared in. What do we get? X to the 4th. Multiply that back. And then this Now I'm going to divide negative 5x to the 5th by x to the 2nd. Oops, no, it should be a negative 20. So I'm going to bring this guy down as well because of my subtraction here. So we get 6x to the 4th. These cancel. And then I'll bring this one down. So I get 6x squared. Multiply that back. All right, so there's our remainder of 0. So what's left up there, I should be able to factor. So that x to the 4th minus 5x to the 3rd plus 6x squared. X squared. And then it's going to be x and x. I want to multiply to get 6, but add to get negative 5.
Negative 6. I mean, and negative 1. Wait. Negative 6.
Yeah, negative 3, negative 2. They both have to be negative because of the positive 6, but then we want to add to get a negative 5. All right, so what are our solutions? 3, 2, 0 twice, right?
Yeah.
And then we also had those other zeros as well. All right, questions? All right, we don't have AR today, so I think I'm actually going to stop us. But that means I have to change the homework a little bit. We have a short day tomorrow because of the Veterans Day Assembly. So we kind of have a couple of weird days here. So I'll probably end up telling you guys that we'll test
Friday of next week.
probably next week, Monday.
On Monday?
Up Tuesday. At least make it.
All right, why don't we just do, so we'll finish this other stuff tomorrow. Why don't we just do up to number 6? So just doing the first 3.
I can do this.
Okay. We have some time, but I didn't, yeah, since I wasn't going to get through all of it anyway and not having AR and, okay. Is that all right? Sound reasonable?